study, hopefully, started the same way on this. I know you're not done yet, but hopefully you got something down. What did you start with, RJ?
Where I started?
What did you do first?
Oh, I drew the graph and I put down -5.
Okay, so you plotted, we call them our zeros, our x-intercepts, our roots, whatever words you want to use to describe them. You put -5, +3, -2, and 1. Did everybody do that? Okay. What was the next thing you did? Dana, did you ever thought about what the next step might be? Well, you definitely want to pay attention to that. So clearly when I start graphing, this one's going to have a parabola and this one's going to have a parabola, right? Now keep in mind that the direction that I'm drawing at the time, this could be a parabola like this, right? Depending on where I'm at on the picture. But I need to do something. Before I worry about that, I need to do something. Cameron? Well, I need to figure out how to draw the line. And Cece, what does that depend on? How many X's you have. Count up your X's, because you remember that an odd number means I'm going to start down here. An even number means I'm going to start up here, right? So how many X's do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is an X to the 6th problem, which means it should look like this at the ends. Unfortunately, or whatever, I have a negative out in front. So instead of being like this, which is how a normal 6 would be, it's going to be like this. Now again, we don't know what's going on in there, but this is how it's going to start and end. So here it comes up to the bottom. Everybody understand why I'm starting at the bottom? Okay, now I got to do what Dana said. What do I do when I hit this point? This point came from that parentheses, which does not have an exponent. So it's going to go straight through and then turn around, and it has to connect, guys. The dots have to be connected, never with straight lines. Now, where'd that come from? That came from this one, which has a square. So like Dana said, I'm going to need a little parabola action there. Right there it is. And then it's going to connect to this one. And what's it going to do when it hits that one? It's going to go right through, because that one doesn't have a parentheses, so it goes right through, connects to this one. What does it do when it hits that one? Parabola. And there you go. There is a picture of the graph. All right, easy, not a problem. Okay, get out your 2-3 homework. We're going to walk through that. All right, here we go. If you've already turned it in, that's fine. If you haven't turned it in, that's fine. I'm not sure I've signed it yet, so I don't know, I'm just gonna do it because we know how. This is my 2-3 homework. All right, this should be a cinch after the one we just did. What do? We're graphing it. We put an x-intercept at -1 and we label it. If we don't label, we're going to get marks on our paper that we don't want, and another one at 2. How many x's do we have in this problem? 3. 3's start down here. So up it comes. What's it do when it hits that? Goes through. Connects. What's it do when it hits that one? Problem one done. Done. They don't come any easier than that, folks. This one's just as easy. Don't let this confuse you. That plain X means your dot's going where? Your dot on the X axis. Every X gets a dot. This X is going to get a dot. Where's it going to be? At the origin. That's a 0. Isn't this the same as X minus 0? So if it helps you to write it that way, write it that way. But there's a dot at the origin. Every X gets a dot. And this is for, it's not parentheses. Put in parentheses. Every X gets a dot. So I got one at 0, I got one at -3, and I have one at 4. Agreed? How many X's do I have in the problem? 3. 3's look like this. 3's start down here, but not this one, because it's upside down, so it's going to start up here. Are there any exponents at all in this problem? So it's just going to go through, connect, go through, connect, go through. Everybody got that? Seriously, not bad. Easy. You know the rules. Easy. Now, things get a little more exciting with problem C, because what are we going to have to do before we can factor it? We're going to have to factor it. So take a moment, see if you can remember how to factor it. We're going to factor by grouping, just like we did our last few examples. And when you have it factored, would you let me know? Because I want to know what your factors are. I want the total factorization. I want my answer. Y equals some parentheses. X minus 3, X minus 2, X plus 2. Anybody else agree with that? They can be in any order. What? Should be X plus 3? Yeah. Well, let's check real quick. Take out an X squared and a -4. I think it is X plus 3. And the rest of it, I think she did great on. I think that's it, right? Graph it. These ones that don't have any powers, any squares on them, they're so easy. Just get started on the picture and just keep connecting the dots. And it's super simple. Where am I going to start drawing? Down, so at the bottom. And then connect, go through. Everybody on board? All right, one more, number 2. Write the equation of the function shown. Do not multiply it out. So in other words, we're going to leave our answer in the parentheses like this. Okay, which helps us out. All right, well, it looks like I didn't label here, and I've been yelling at you to do that. So it looks like -1, 0, -3, 0. 2, 0. Okay, so here we go. How do we start this one? This zinc back there, how do we start this problem? We're writing the equation. Okay, so I'm gonna start by building the factors, the parentheses. And the parentheses happen every time there's an x-intercept. Every time there's a dot on the x-axis. So there's gonna be 3 parentheses, and Madison says one of them is x plus 3, another one is x plus 1, and another one is x minus 2. Would everybody agree with that? Now, Bryson, what do I have to do at this point? Before I go any farther, I have to pay attention to something. Exactly. I gotta put my exponents on. So I'm just gonna trace over my picture. Do I need an exponent at -3? No. Do I need an exponent at -1?
No.
Yeah, I do, don't I?
Yeah.
So that's right here. Do I need an exponent at 2?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Does that order matter?
Nope. You gotta have the powers on the right parentheses, but the order of the parentheses doesn't matter. It's multiplication. You can multiply in whatever order you want. All right, what's left? Last step. What is it?
It's find n.
Find n. And how do I find n?
I'm gonna plug in.
Plug in this other random point that never ever goes into a parentheses. Only these are parentheses. That guy is your random x and y. So -3 in for the y, -2 in for all of the x's. Okay? So here we go. -2 plus 3 is 1. -2 plus 1 is -1, but it's squared, so it is 1. -2 minus 2, -4. Squared is 16. These are all times each other, so I've got 16n. So in the answer blank, you are gonna write this. Oh, don't turn it in. Don't turn it in. Why would I grade it? Right? Didn't I just do it for you? No. I'm just gonna give you credit for it. We're not gonna turn it in. That would be dumb. That would be, I don't like grading papers that much. You just keep them, and everybody who's here today is going to get, credit for that homework. Okay? Now, don't pack up. We have one more little thing to do. I want to make sure we got that done for you. We have one more little thing that I want to do. And we're not going to anywhere near get this done, but I want you to think about this for a second. Go back to your notes. Go back to your notes. And I want you to look at the very next problem. And I want you to tell me